All right, guys. Today is day 66. What's the date today? Today is Monday, June 23rd. Just doing a little light workout in the basement. There is a heat advisory today. So if you're outside, stay hydrated. Dress appropriately. I'm in my basement right now. I'm all covered up. I like to be hot. I do have AC, and it's roughly 20 degrees in my basement, or maybe a little less, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, or around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see, just a recap of last week. So on Friday, I did a little squat workout. First time being able to put weight on my back. I did 5 sets of 2, pretty easily, of 185 for the squat, and I was able to get depth well below parallel, and I could rest at the bottom fairly easy. So I'm happy with that. Things to work on for me is shoulder mobility. I still had a little bit of trouble getting the bar in a nice high bar position, and my last set was the best set. So I think recovery, upper body still needs a lot of work. Left shoulder, so right shoulder, I can get all the way up. Left shoulder, I'm about here, and then I start to wiggle through. So today is a little arm workout. So just going over my workout today, I'm going to try to do some inverted skull crushers on the rack here. I have the bar set pretty high, so it's going to be interesting. I'm still pretty weak. Then I'm going to move into my bench here and do some dumbbell skull crushers with a light weight. So it's like a tricep extension. Then I'm going to move into some simple barbell curls, just with the 45-pound bar, and then moving into some old school concentration curls. Those are always kind of fun. Then from concentration curls, I'm moving to dumbbell upright rows. Still going fairly light, and I'm going to work on getting my elbows up first. So left side's going to be a challenge. And then from there, some push-ups. I'm going to try to play around with my hand positioning and opening up the shoulder and trying to get my left side working well. From there, after push-ups, I'm going to be working into some barbell rows, followed by some leg work, which is going to be rough because my legs are still sore from Friday's workout. So I'm going to be doing some split, like Bulgarian split squats with one foot on the bench, and I'll probably just do body weight. My butt is still weak, and I have that old man butt going on, and I need to build up that booty without being too sore. Tomorrow I'll be doing some jiu-jitsu, and if it's going to be another scorcher, I'm going to do my best to stay hydrated. So energy is good. Legs are still sore from Friday, not too bad, but they're there. And then today is my first week of a 5K training program. That one I'm going to do probably outside. And it's only a 9-minute benchmark, so I'll see how far I can get. Probably want to go to the track and do 400 meters at a time and see how many 400s I can get in 9 minutes. So if I did 4 times 400, that would be a mile. And if I get a 9-minute mile, that's definitely way above my ability at the moment. So I'm probably aiming for a probably 10 or 12 minute mile pace. So if I could get 1,200 meters, I would be pretty happy. Ideally, I'm shooting for 1,600 meters. So, that being said, I'm gonna start my workout, and I want to thank everyone who's following me, cheering me on, getting the hang of it. For sure, like I can tell from the first video that I did versus now, it's getting much better. Still having a little bit of trouble with my confidence and getting through this depression, but I'm thankful for everyone who's kind of giving me the boost and cheering me on. It means a lot to me. So if you like this video, please like the video and subscribe. If you guys want to give me a shout out in the comments, that's cool. I am going to do my best to take those advices and get better every single time. So I guess enough playing around. I'll get right to work, and let's do this. loosen up and stretch in between sets. Everything's feeling pretty good. I'm still pretty weak. I feel like my form's improving. The inverted skull crushers I have never done before. I'd imagine having the bar set higher makes it easier. I don't think I could go a little bit lower. One of the nice things, I felt a nice strength through my midline, like through my core, holding that sort of modified plank position. So I do like the exercise. The reason I do the dumbbell skull crushers is because my left arm what's the word? My left arm is just like a lot weaker and unstable. So the dumbbells allow me to not push so much with my right arm. If I use a barbell, my right arm will take over a lot of the weight. So using dumbbells allows me to do equal amount of work on both sides. If you guys have any experience doing these exercises, feel free to give me some tips in the comments. I'm still trying to get a lot better, and I appreciate all the support. So before I lose my mojo, here we go. Feeling pretty good. That's it. I'm just putting some fat grips on. Oops, it's so fucked up. Yoy. Concentration goals. Oh, excuse me. I keep burping. on there. That's good enough. It's good enough. It's good. That's a good weight there. That's all right. So I'm still doing, today I'm doing push-ups off my knees. I tried to bring my hands out so I could get a different feel. Typically, when I was doing push-ups before, my hands would be at chest level and my elbows would be nice and tucked in. Moving my elbow out, I'm trying to get a little bit more movement through the shoulder. Doesn't hurt. Left side is a bit weird, super tight, and it's hard for me to open my arm. They actually feel pretty good from the kneeling position, but if I did like a traditional push-up from a plank, my left arm would have to be in closer. I don't think I'd be able to support my weight at this moment. So I'm happy with how it felt. Moving into the pulling session, I'm going to be doing some barbell rows. For these, I'm just going to use a nice light weight, like 45 pounds. I think I'm just going to do, I'm supposed to do 2 sets. So I think I'm going to do a high rep set. I'm going to try to see how many reps I can get just with the bar. Now, yeah, we'll see how it feels. Typically, barbell rows were something I was pretty good at. After getting, for me, my scar is about 18 inches from my collarbone to almost my belly button. And when they separated my ribs to do the operation, I've noticed that this is where I really noticed my shoulder doesn't glide properly, and I'm trying to pull with my back muscles and they're all kind of atrophied. So for me, using a lighter weight is a good start. And then I used to really get into the habit of adding weights too quickly. As I'm getting older, realizing that like if you take smaller increments in strength, so like let's say for example this week I do barbell rows with just 45 pounds. If I add 5 pounds every week, that's 5 times 52. So like it's if you add 5 pounds of weight every single week and you train every week, and that's 52 weeks in a year, 52 times 5 is quite a substantial amount of weight. Now, like, you probably won't, maybe if you're a teenager, I would say anyone who's younger working out, hire a coach, get a lifting coach, do a sport, play sports, be safe. But like really, if you just add 5 pounds of good technique to every lift, every time you lift, you'll get really, really strong. I know I took that approach in high school, and in high school in grade 9, in grade 8 technically, in grade 8 I started with 45 pounds on the bench, and then I added 5 pounds every single time. By the end of grade 9, I could do 225 at 15 years old. Now, was that a very helpful thing for me? Probably not. Just because I had my first heart surgery when I was 20 and there wasn't really a benefit. I probably would have got more out of doing push-ups and doing cardio. And, you know, looking back, I'm way better, like a much better grappler, wrestler, fighter than I was as a football player. As a football player, I was like, I worked really hard, and I was one of the captains on the team when I played senior football. Like I played football from grade 9 all the way to first year of college. Realizing being 5'7" and about 200 pounds or a little bit over, it was not the best idea. When I did my mixed martial arts as a way to get into shape, I started with an A5 gi, and now I wear an A3. But really, I'm a small guy. I should probably be an A2. You know, at 5'7", I should probably weigh about 150 pounds. And so right now I weighed in today at 203.5. So I still have about quite a substantial weight to lose, and I'm not delusional about my body fat percentage. Body fat percentage I would assume is about 25%, but when I got it tested, it was about 20%. I'm more inclined to think it's a bit higher. I do carry a good amount, sort of fake muscles. I feel like my structure is good, so I always look a little bit leaner than I am. But I can tell you from doing my 400s the other day and being so slow that I am carrying about 50 pounds of unwanted weight. My mission this year is to be getting back down into an acceptable range. Now, ideally, I'd like to be about 162, 163. But at 204 this morning, I'm next year, so a whole year from now, after my first year of training and getting into a routine, my goal will be to be about 180. Even if I just lose 25 pounds is a victory. And really, if I only lose 10 pounds, that's a victory. So this is the one thing that I've always been kind of good at is improving slow and steady. Even every single time and like people who've had heart surgery, you know, there's a couple different things that you might need. If you have heart disease, it's different. If you have valve disease, it's different. For me, I have heart valve disease, and my blood work is pretty decent. You know, when I get a little carried away with the cookies, my triglycerides are pretty high. But everything else, when I'm eating properly, all my blood work looks good. All my cholesterol lines up where it should. My blood sugar is good. Typically, I'm very lucky that way with being able to get away with treats. Typically, I used to out-train my diet, and now after this last surgery, I'm gonna really try to keep myself together and focus on nutrition, hydration. My only vice right now is pretty much coffee. I do like caffeine. I always did. But if I can give up, I gave up alcohol, no problem. I don't smoke. You know, just having a coffee here and there is probably not going to hurt. My biggest thing is if I do have a coffee, it's going to be only before lunch. And I'm really trying to work on my sleep hygiene for recovery. So that was a pretty long rest. I'm going to rep out some reps and and we'll see how it is. And I'm gonna do sideways so you can see. There's good. All right. First set in the books. Wasn't so hard on the back, but my legs are sore. So I'm going to stretch the hip. Turn this glute on, this hip. Not quite. Little trick for these guys, put my calf against the bench, take about 3 steps out, top of my foot rests, go down, trying to use this leg, squeeze my butt. It's going to be rough. Can I just do this leg? Yeah. Oh, lots of work to do. Ay, ay. Yeah, my legs are still hurting a bit. And right now, I'm not going to load any weight. I still find some of these movements fairly challenging. The one thing I'm happy with, one of the things I'm really happy with is I don't have any actual joint pain. Most of the pain is just like the first time you ever do legs, and then everything kind of, it's not the day after, it's not the first day after, but it's like the second or moving into the third day after, where all of a sudden you're like, what did I do? Why are my legs hurting so much? It reminds me of when I was in grade 9. I'm still very slow. My acceleration is pretty good for the first 30 meters. After 30 meters, I run out of gas pretty quick, and it's always kind of been that way. I remember once someone was like, man, you're too slow to play football, you're too small to be a linebacker. So I remember doing plyometrics, and my first day doing plyometrics, it was like 15 minutes of jump rope, which was not too bad. And then I moved into some like jumping lunges. It was probably like 3 sets of 8 or something like that. And then we did some broad jumps, some A's and B's, and some sprints. And then we finished the workout session with squats, and it was like something like 5x5 or something. So like that was like the workout. And I remember being in grade 9, and it wasn't super hard, and I was like working really hard, like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably like doing my best. I remember I couldn't do the jump lunges. My coordination was all weird. And I remember the next day at school, it wasn't too bad, things started to tighten up. And then I went to wrestling practice, and then after wrestling practice, the next day, man, I could hardly walk. I was sitting on the toilet, taking a dump, and I was like, I can't, my legs hurt, I can't get up. Like the next day after going back to wrestling practice, they're like, hey, we're gonna, I used to run to school for wrestling practice. I would run to the school, and I remember running, and it felt like when you're in a dream and some monster's chasing you and you're trying to run away, and you can't, you feel like you're running as hard as you can, but you're not going anywhere. That was kind of like the real life version of it. Or like a dream I used to have was like someone's gonna run me over with their car, and I'm trying to run away, and I can't run, and I'm running, my legs and arms are moving, and I'm not going anywhere. You know, that kind of feeling, except in real life. So just a funny little observation. All right, let's get this going. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. Nice little workout. Something is always better than nothing. Do your best. Enjoy your life. Eat well, sleep well. Get a workout in. Stay hydrated. I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.